We're here to honor two Papillion legends, but it might seem kind of odd that we're standing in a street at an intersection in the middle of a parking lot to do that. It might seem kind of odd that we're talking about renaming a street. So a little bit of why here, why now, and why this. Why here? We all know that these women played softball in Papillion, and when they were playing, we did not have as nice a fields as we've got behind us right now in the Papillion Landing Complex. It opened up just a couple of years ago, and I believe from youth softball, it's probably the best facility in the state right now. Sorry, Joe Patterson, but I think it's the best in the state, so appreciate everything you've done. You actually were a little bit of an inspiration for it. We got two hometown legends, and probably could be said maybe even the best in the nation. So to honor them at this complex here is absolutely appropriate. But why now? Well, a little bit when Jordy was playing Oklahoma in the Women's College World Series and won that second championship, especially in the impressive way she did, it naturally got us thinking about what should we do. And at the time, it simply was, well, let's send her a congratulatory letter. And then it became, well, that's not enough, maybe an official proclamation in front of City Council. But it didn't take too long to think of her impressive stats and immediately be reminded of Peaches and everything she had done, and to realize the legacy that Peaches laid and probably the inspiration she was for somebody like Jordy. It became, this is something bigger to have both of those coming out of Papillion. We need to do something a little bit more. And it was that led us to start thinking about honoring both of them and putting both of their names on the street sign here. So why a street sign? For those that know them, a couple of years down the road, you drive up, you see the names, you're going to be reminded and maybe remember a story, so they won't be forgotten. But I think more important, if somebody doesn't know either one of them or time passes and they tend to forget about them, you pull up to a street sign and the curiosity comes out of who's on that street sign. And you do a quick Google, and very quickly you're going to learn the impressive statistics about them. And hopefully that curiosity will begin to educate. So for those that know them, it's a way to honor and commemorate. For those that don't, maybe it's a way to educate. And so that's a little bit of the simple signs here, help aid in that legacy. It's not lightly that we do the street signs. It's only the third time that we've ever renamed streets. The other two were childhood streets of young men who were killed in action in Afghanistan. Now, I want to be very careful. No way am I saying softball accomplishments tie to a military giving their life. However, if you learn the stories and understand sacrifice and accomplishments of others, that can be pretty inspiring. You get lessons of greatness, humbleness, and self-sacrifice that can come from a lot of places, including military, including athletics. So each time we've done this, it's been with the specific goal to honor, commemorate, educate, and to inspire in a simple way that only a city can, which is a city street sign. So in this case, it's directly tied to the Papillion Landing Complex. So we think it's appropriate for the national legends to continue to inspire little girls playing on a field right behind us. So a little bit of an introduction, why here, why now, why here. But what I want to do is I want to introduce Coach Todd Peterson. Todd is directly impacting next generations of softball players. Todd is 16-year head softball coach at Papillion La Vista High School, career record of .496 and 83. Qualified for state all 16 years, 5 state championships, 5 state runner-ups, coached 29 all-state players, 55 players in college, 2 former players on his staff, and he's had others in the past, and 2 former players are college head coaches. Jordy played for Todd, so to share his perspective on Jordy and introduce Jordy, let's welcome Coach Todd Peterson.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here. I was lucky enough to be Jordy's high school softball coach. I was not lucky enough to be Peach's softball coach, but I got to watch her. And I've known Jordy for a number of years since she was a young person, as well as her family. And I've gotten to know Peaches over those years too. These two are not only extraordinary softball players, but they're extraordinary people. And I know you that are all here that know them, you know that. And for Jordy to talk about her, just a few highlights, if you will, as this is a great day for Papillion. But Jordy had a 97-3 record pitching. She's a 4-time All-Stater. She was the National Gatorade Player of the Year her senior year. And there's only been 2 National Player of the Years, Gatorade Players of the Year from Nebraska. And believe it or not, they've both come from Papillion. So it's quite an honor to win that award. One other thing about high school, and this is another comparison of Jordy and Peaches, I looked at their stats, like ERA, earned run average, and Jordy's best year earned run average was 0.15. Peaches, which is a state record, was 0.04. So I went back and I'm going, okay, what would that be, So Jordy gave up 3 runs an entire season, and in Peach's season, she gave up 1 run an entire season. So you see, So you can see why I'm lucky to be her coach, right? But anyway, from there, Jordy's went on, obviously. She's won 2 national championships. She was the freshman of the year her freshman season. This year, she was the MVP of the College World Series and also was nominated for an ESPY. So her career has gone on. And boy, are we most excited about the fact that she's coming home. So she's got more to do. And, she's a great person. She's someone that gives back to softball. She gives back to her community. She's very humble. She also has her priorities in line. One of the reasons she's coming home, she wants to be home. Faith is very important to her. Family is very important to her. She said, I want to be around the people that have supported me, so they get to watch me and things like that. So I'm honored to speak today. I want to congratulate both of you. This is a great honor. Appreciate the City of Papillion doing this. I think it's awesome that you decided to do this. And with that, I congratulate Jordy Ball, and I'm going to have her come up and speak. Thank you.
All right. I just want to start out by saying that I have been a very blessed person, and I've been very lucky in my life to have so many influential people, parents who have taught me sacrifice, putting others first, and just loved me unconditionally no matter what. I was lucky enough to be able to grow up in the city of Papillion, and I just want to thank everybody who works for this city that makes it what it is and makes it so special. I've been blessed to have amazing coaches like Coach P, and Darren. He's been my pitching coach for a really long time, but he's not here today. But I've just been blessed beyond measures, and not everyone gets those same blessings. So it's easy to point the finger and say, look what I did, but none of it would be possible without everybody else. So I'm not at all doing that. And ultimately, all the glory goes to the Lord, because he's the same on the good days, on the bad days. He gives and he takes away, and he has a plan for everything. And so I just know that all of this is from him. And so I think that's one of the most humbling things, knowing how undeserving I am of all of it. I also just want to thank Peaches, because she paved the way. She gave girls like me something to strive for. And she's always been the name that I hear about and have always wanted to try to be somewhat like. So without her being that example, I don't know what I would be striving for. And again, I have my whole family here, so I just want to thank all of you guys. You guys are one of the most important things in my life. And again, I just want to thank the City of Papillion. This is an honor I never saw coming or could have imagined, but it definitely is one that means the absolute most. I love this town. I love Papillion. It's been home forever, and just the way it feels, how amazing these people are, and how much the city means to everyone. It's different. and I love being raised here, and I can't wait to raise my family here one day. And so again, I just want to say thank you to everybody for this, and yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Jordy. Today's a lot about women's softball, whether it's recognizing two of our local greats, celebrating a great softball complex, or watching a great tournament of girls softball behind us. But something occurred 51 years ago that I think is very significant with all of those, and that was the passage of Title IX. And it's an honor to have Dr. Joanne Owens-Nosler with us. She probably understands better than anybody the impact of Title IX nationally. She spent over 50 years promoting the benefits of healthy, active living. She was the state director for comprehensive health and physical education at the Nebraska Department of Education for 19 years. For 9 years, she was the director of professional development for the American School Health Association. She can be described as probably the past president of almost everything. That includes the National Association of Sport and Physical Education, many Nebraska and Husker organizations, and that includes the Husker Athletic Fund and the Husker Softball On Deck Circle. She's received the Athletic Trailblazer Award from both UNL and Chadron for contributions in girls and women's sports, and she's an alumnus of both of those. And if you remember, you might go home and look up a YouTube video. Nebraska Public Media did one called The Unstoppable Dr. Joe. And you might actually see her throwing some hay bales in there as well. So an athlete, a teacher coach, a fitness expert, a rancher, served on the Nebraska Sports Council Cornhusker Games Board of Directors, and she was the founding board member 39 years ago. Dr. Joe's going to give her perspective on and introduce Peaches James-Keaton. Please welcome the unstoppable Dr. Joe.
Wow. I did not send him all that when he asked for it. I did not send him all that. Thank you, Dave. That was a kind introduction. Good morning, honorees, Peaches and Jordy, families, friends, coaches, city dignitaries, community members, media, and including a bunch of softball and Husker fans extraordinaire. Coach Rhonda would probably say, is it time for a Go Big Red? They still got it, Coach. We applaud the City of Papillion's insight as we continue to celebrate the impact of Title IX with these street namings today. I'm honored and humbled to share some of the thoughts and highlights about my friend, Peaches James, a friendship and admiration that started 20 years ago because of her incredible athleticism and dedication to Husker softball, but grew by leaps and bounds when one understands her intellect, compassion, purpose, passion, and life mission. Let's take a moment to take each of the letters from her grandmother's given nickname, Peaches, P-E-A-C-H-E-S, and try to put the wealth of her contributions into the short time frame I've been given. When one thinks about the P, Peach is a pitching whiz. She's purposeful, patient, and one of her landmark traits is her passion. From family to community, professional life to leadership, and speaking to pitching lessons, etc., you feel her passion by her mere presence, and she's, by the way, one of your own Papillion monarchs. The E would no doubt stand for enthusiasm, excitement, elegance, and energy. Coach Rhonda always reminds us that your energy travels and can be felt from a distance. I guarantee you, from behind those fashion sunglasses, there was an energy flow that traveled more than the 43 feet from pitcher's circle to home plate. The energy was felt by her teammates and coaches in the dugout and on the field, the opposition, as well as the fans in the stands. The coaching staff also got to coach Peach's mom, Marie. Coaches Rhonda and Sip would visit with Marie about staying in the stands versus retreating to the parking lot when things were clutch. Their reminders were, Marie, she's your DNA. Send her positive energy. These coaches are coaches for a reason. Their talk obviously worked. Marie stayed in the stands and pitched a 7-0 shutout against rival Oklahoma. The A would no doubt stand for ace, all-American, attitude, and accomplished. I recently witnessed Peaches in a speaking mode at the Elkhorn Athletic Association Leadership Summit as she gave young women and those of us chronologically gifted in the stands advice about the following. Why should you believe to achieve? The power of positivity, kindness and caring, character counts, and for sure, study hard because the more you learn, the more you can earn. The C could no doubt stand for character counts, charisma, caring, challenges, competitor, and Coach Sipple would say wicked changeup. Peaches wore number 42. There's a number 42s out here somewhere. She wore number 42, an admired icon, the late Jackie Robinson, who overcame barriers and challenges. The song, Put Me In, Coach, I'm Ready to Play, had no doubt been written with Peaches James in mind. Her ability to overcome challenges with her caring charisma, competitive nature, and hitting success, also combined with her wicked changeup. Those are all admirable. The H is no doubt about being a Hall of Famer, a multiple Hall of Famer, in addition to her heartwarming, healthy, hitter, heroic, and humble approach to almost everything. For heroic, did I remind you, 7-0 against Oklahoma, just one of my favorites. But much of Peaches' success can be felt in her H of humility. From tournament wins to inductions into halls, yes, multiple halls of fame. From jersey retirements and long-standing unbroken records, she acknowledges those who contributed to help get her there. Peaches is well aware that success comes from many, from her Papillion High School coaches and teammates to her Husker catcher Brittany Yolo and the Husker Nation of coaches, teammates, family, faith, friends, and for sure the fans. The second E is about her exceptional ability to make you feel you're the most important person in the universe. Because of her empathy and ability to be a good listener, you can have the opportunity to go away from any encounter energized and excited. The S, no doubt, stands for strikeouts and shutouts and scrum, if you don't know what that is, ask her about that at Woodman. Sincerity, but most importantly, her ongoing success in life, which is evidenced by our gathering here today. Peaches James-Keaton, your purposeful passion, energetic enthusiasm, actions and attitude, character and competitiveness, honesty and humility, engaging empathy, stylish sincerity set you apart and have many of us wishing we could live life and pitch like Peach. Congratulations, Peaches. You are a proven, enthusiastic, ambitious contributor, honorable in your life and actions, empathic to your core, and now, my friend, you have the bold acknowledgement of who you are and the contributions you bring with a street named in your honor. Continue to take away your many talents combined with your grit and grace, celebrate, and continue to add to your amazing legacy. Congratulations, and most deserved, in the naming of Peaches James Way.
I don't know how I can follow that up. Definitely. Thank you, Dr. Joe. That just, I'm going to try not to cry. I'm a crier for anyone that knows me, so I'm going to really try not to. But Dr. Joe, you did not help. So, but I'm overwhelmed just with appreciation. Thank you, City Mayor Black and City of Papillion for this honor and this recognition. It's truly amazing, and it's so awesome just to see so many faces that I haven't seen in so long, just to be here to celebrate with me, so it really means a lot. I first also want to always, anytime I'm just in front of a podium, having to speak, I always have to speak about my parents. When I think about just my career and starting at Papillion, it really wouldn't have been possible without them. They believed in me enough to give me the opportunity to become a Monarch and wear this jersey that when I was 12 and 13 years old, watching players like Lee Sir and Tiffany Jones and Hillary Stockwell, some of the greats that also wore this jersey, they gave me that opportunity to also be a part of this truly just amazing sport of being a Monarch, and I'm just truly grateful for them. I'm thankful. I don't think I can ever tell them thank you enough. And now that I'm a parent myself, I truly understand just the sacrifice and the time that it takes for, and the things that you do for your children. And so thank you, Mom and Dad. I'm forever grateful because I feel like truly being a Monarch catapulted my career. Those 4 years taught me a lot. They were champions already, and they already had a championship mindset coming in, and they were all such just great athletes and mentally tough, and those were all things that I needed. And I just truly feel like those 4 years really set me up just for my next chapter of being a Husker. It just made the transition to college just seamless, being a Monarch. 4-hour practices in college were nothing because I was doing that for 4 years at Papillion. So it was just, I just am truly thankful and I'm forever grateful to have been a Monarch, and I'm proud to wear this jersey. Thank you. I'm totally going to wear this for the rest of the day, Coach P. But this is awesome. But the last thing I want to say is I feel like I also had a village. So not only were my parents just instrumental, I feel like, a lot of times they say it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it took a village to get Peaches in her softball career. It took truly a village. I had so many just family members, friends and fans and coaches and teammates that always believed in me, even more than sometimes I believed in myself at times. And through all of those years and believing me and just coming to support me and giving me uplifting, encouraging words, that meant a lot to me, and it kept me going. And so to my village, I appreciate it very much. And I'm so glad that you all are here today, and I'm so thankful for this honor. And Jordy, congratulations to you. I tell you, Oklahoma I'd never been an Oklahoma fan. They were always a rival. But these last 2 years, I can say I was an Oklahoma fan. You can ask my family. I would always say, when's Oklahoma playing? What time are they playing? What time? I truly was an Oklahoma fan these last 2 years. I probably won't be anymore now that you're here, so I'm done. But yeah, like what you have done just in your career as a Monarch and in your first 2 years, Oklahoma is inspiring. Every time I watch you play and pitch, it makes me want to think that I could still go out there and like, oh my gosh, I want to do it. I miss it so much. But I can't even come close to just who you are and what you are, and just, continue to just inspire, all of us with your talent and just who you are as a person. It's truly amazing. So congratulations to you too. And thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. And thank you again.
So we're blessed to have with us today Coach Rhonda Ravel, longtime Husker softball coach. The wind's not blowing too much. We actually put the Nebraska flag under the U.S. flag over there for you, but I don't know if you can see it or not. She's got over 1,000 wins, won more games than any other coach in the history of Nebraska athletics, played for Nebraska at the first ever Women's College World Series in 1982. little bit of trivia. That was just 5 miles right over there. Played up there for 6 years before it moved to where it's being played at now. UCLA won in 8 innings 2-0 over Fresno State at that game. But as a coach, she led the Huskers to 22 NCAA tournaments, 8 conference titles, Coach of the Year in 3 different conferences, member of the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association Hall of Fame. And as we welcome Coach Ravel to share her perspective of things, there's only one thing we can say: go Big Red!
Go Big Red!
Okay, Peach, I'm a crier too, and you know that, and I'm already crying, so I haven't even started. Oh my goodness, so I'm going to try to hold it together here, but you know what? It's okay if I don't. You may or may not know a lot about these 2 young women and how similar they are. Peaches and Jordy, you may not know how many similarities you share. My goal today is to give you just a glimpse through my lens of the similarities that these 2 embody. I'm going to start with the love of their families. I'm pretty sure the James family and the Ball family knew pretty early in their daughter's life that they were given some God-given talents that were simply a gift. Things you can't coach, things you can't teach, things you really can't even take credit for. But I'm also pretty sure, knowing the Ball and the James family, that they understood their responsibility to help nurture and grow those gifts. So these young women, yes, Peach, you're still young, so these young women could take those gifts, sharpen them, make them shine, and do what they have done and will continue to do their entire life. Give back the gift that they've been given from the Lord above to shine and make a difference while they walk this earth. Number 2, loyalty. They are fiercely loyal. I have witnessed it personally. I have watched it from a distance, and I've watched it from in close proximity to people and things that they love. They're willing to use their voice. They're willing to stand up and stand out and stand alone if need be, and speak about the things that they believe in. And to me, I don't care what generation we are, what gender we are, what we believe, we could all take a page out of that playbook. That's inspiring. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. Number 3, their athleticism. I have to giggle at this part because most recently, Jordy's, we're all watching her. I don't know if I can say I'm an Oklahoma fan, but I'm a Jordy Ball fan. So when Jordy Ball was in the Oklahoma uniform, I was still a Jordy Ball fan. I respect Oklahoma. But when she took the field and she was pinch running at the College World Series, I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's show what you got, girl. We know. We in Nebraska, you specifically in Papillion, know what she's got. She's fast. She's athletic. She's crafty. She's intuitive. She's smart. Put her on the bases. She's going to find a way to score. She did. Well, at the same time, she's pitching a magnificent game. And what are the ESPN announcers talking about? They're talking about her running the bases. That lasted for like 9 seconds. And yet she's pitched a whole game. The same thing happened to Peaches James when she played at Nebraska. Her senior year, she had 9 stolen bases. Now, you may look at me and go, what are you doing running your pitcher? But remember how I started. Their athleticism. You use the gifts they've been given. And we used that gift, and we found people were always talking about the things that seemed obvious to us, Jordy being Jordy, Peaches being Peaches, and people would marvel at them. It continued on. Jordy's been in our weight room now for a few weeks, and I've had some of our players come in and go, Coach, I got to up my game. Man, she's so strong. She's so athletic. I got to try to stay up with Jordy. And I just smile. Just like Peach's teammates in that same weight room would say, oh my gosh, she can jump higher than any other female athlete at the University of Nebraska. I don't know if the record still stands, but this is a little known fact. Peaches James, for many years, and maybe still today, Jordy's probably going to try to find out, held or holds the vertical jump record. Boyd Eppley on Husker Power, that was one of his greatest indicators of athleticism. We have a volleyball team that's decent, and she jumped higher than any volleyball player. I was so glad she was 5'6", because I'm afraid Coach Cook would have tried to recruit her if she were any taller. Their humility and their team-first mentality. You know, when the bright lights come on and the cameras of the media come on, who do they want to interview? So many times, Jordy Ball, Peaches James. And both of them, to a person, are masterful at turning and redirecting the conversation about their team. They deflect from themselves and they go back to their team and giving credit to their team and their teammates. This is just one of the many reasons that defenses love to play behind them, offenses love to score for them, and teammates simply love them. Why? Because Jordy and Peach love the team, they love their team, and they love their teammates. And finally, impact. There is zero doubt that the impact that Jordy Ball and Peaches James have left for a lifetime on the City of Papillion is far-reaching, and specifically on Papio softball. There is zero doubt of the impact that, yes, listen to me here, Peaches James and Jordy Ball have left on the University of Nebraska, and specifically the Nebraska softball program. In the spring of 2001, Peaches James blasted into the national scene. Again, we all knew it here in Nebraska. She blasts on the national scene. The media coverage is nothing like it is now. It's grown a lot. But here she is. She's leading Nebraska to a Big 12 championship as a freshman in 2001. And that's when the Big 12, the softball in the Big 12, there was a wider swath of teams. They have all the teams they have now. Plus they had Nebraska, they had Missouri, they had Texas A&M. It was a really good conference. And here Peaches James is leading Nebraska to a Big 12 championship. That fall, we opened Bowlin Stadium. And we're en route to a College World Series run in 2002 with Peaches on the mound. And we thought when we opened Bowlin Stadium for 1,500 seats, oh my gosh, that's like triple the seats that we had over at Mabley Hall. We thought, we've got it, until we didn't. Because you see, the Peaches James effect, we needed more seats. So any of you that have been in a softball game, you see those bleachers along the first baseline, those weren't there when the stadium was built. That was the Peaches James effect. We had to put in 1,000 more seats. Now, fast forward to 2023, Jordy wants to come home, and thankfully, she wants to be a Husker. I think it's something like within 72 hours, we have 2,500 people on the waiting list to not just come to games, but to be season ticket holders. We only fit 2,500 people. That's general admission. That's the kids in the berm, the grassy berms behind the dugouts. So now we're working just like we worked in 2001 for the Peaches James effect. We're working to make sure all of our fans can watch our games because of the Jordy Ball effect. Pretty impressive, right? But you see, their impact doesn't just fit in Papillion. It doesn't just fit within the borders of our great state of Nebraska. It's nationwide, it's far, and it's reaching. Peaches James inspired a generation, and quite possibly generations, of minority girls who not only began to believe they could play the game of softball, but pitch it at the highest level. We had a recruit by the name of Tori Tyson from Southern California who was a minority girl
pitching for Nebraska. And when we recruited her, she said, "Coach, I know I can play at Nebraska, and I also know that I can pitch at the highest level because I watch Peaches James on TV pitching in the College World Series." And Jordy has made it a mission, such a beautiful mission, that anytime she has the opportunity, she's talking to young girls about it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what team you play for. It doesn't matter if you're coming from a, quote, hotbed softball state. That you could do anything that you set your mind to. There are no limits. All things are possible. And so many young girls, a generation now and a generation far-reaching, understands I too can play softball and pitch at the highest level. And why do they know that? Because they've watched Jordy do it on television. Pitch at the highest level with the highest level of success. Jordy, Peaches, what a tremendous honor it is for you today and the whole community of Papillion. Thank you. Thank you for loving Papillion, and thank you for loving Nebraska.
I think it's a lot of those stories of inspiration that we're hoping with this sign a couple years from now somebody sees those and remembers those or researches them, and then they're inspired as well. So thanks, Coach Ravel. Before we unveil the signs, I do want to give formal proclamation. I'd like to invite both Jordy and Peaches up. I'll give them their proclamations and then I'll read them. Come on up. So I'll go ahead and read what I just gave them. Whereas Jordyn Bahl was raised in Papillion, Nebraska, where she attended Papillion La Vista High School and is the daughter of Dave and Emily Bahl. Whereas during high school, Jordyn Bahl showcased her talent as a pitcher for the Monarchs. Her leadership led the team to 3 consecutive Class A state titles, and she was awarded all-state honors all 4 years. She finished her career at Papillion in 2021 with a 95-3 record, .63 ERA, and 978 strikeouts in 523 innings. She recorded 1 perfect game, 63 complete games in her high school career. She was ranked as the nation's #1 recruit in class of 2021. Whereas her journey after high school took her to the University of Oklahoma, where she quickly became one of college softball's most prominent players. Whereas during Jordyn's exceptional 2 season in Oklahoma, she appeared in 71 games with 46 starts, posted a 44-2 record, 1.0 ERA, and 397 strikes in 282 2/3 innings. Her ERA ranked 2nd in Oklahoma program history and was the lowest since the pitching distance was increased from 40 to 43 feet in 1988. Whereas while in Oklahoma, she was named the 2022 NFCA First Team All-American, 2022 NFCA Division I National Freshman of the Year, 2022 USA Softball Collegiate Player of the Year Top 10 finalist, 2022 All Big 12 First Team, 2022 Big 12 Co-Pitcher of the Year, 2022 Big 12 Freshman of the Year, 2022 NFCA All Central Region First Team, and 3-time Big 12 Pitcher of the Week. Whereas in June 2023, after achieving 2 consecutive national championships with the Oklahoma Sooners softball team, Jordyn announced her decision to return to her roots in Nebraska and become a Husker for her final 2 years of college. Whereas the City of Papillion wholeheartedly recognizes that Jordyn's unparalleled journey of excellence will continue in the world of softball. She will undoubtedly continue to excel, and the City of Papillion is exceedingly proud of all she has hereby accomplished and will accomplish in the future. Now, therefore, I, David P. Black, Mayor of the City of Papillion, do hereby proclaim this street as Jordyn Bahl Boulevard. Whereas Peaches James relocated to the City of Papillion during her high school years, with her passion for softball being ignited by her mother's encouragement at the age of 10. Whereas during her time as a Papillion La Vista Monarch, Peaches dominated the game of softball. She pitched on 4 straight state championship teams, setting numerous state records, including 11 no-hitters, 5 perfect games, and a .04 ERA in 1999. In all of this, including 31 consecutive wins, 19 consecutive shutouts, and a streak of 257 2/3 innings without allowing an earned run. Whereas after high school, Peaches attended the University of Nebraska, The Huskers enjoyed terrific team success during her college career, winning 3 Big 12 championships, 2 regular season crowns, and 1 tournament title, while winning 13 games in the NCAA tournament, including a 5th-place finish at the 2002 Women's College World Series. Whereas Peaches finished her career as a Husker with a 1.19 ERA and a school record 945 strikeouts, and still holds a Nebraska record with 44 career shutouts. She was the first Big 12 player to be named a 4-time first-team all-conference honoree, as was the first pitcher to earn all Big 12 honors 4 times. Whereas Peaches James was a powerful force on the field and achieved numerous accolades throughout her career. She was a 2-time National Pro Fast Pitch Pitcher of the Year, helped lead her teams to multiple championships. Her contributions to the sport, both on and off the field, have made her a respected figure in the softball community. Whereas in recognition of her many achievements, Peaches became the 4th Husker softball player to have her jersey retired in 2010. In 2011, she was among a group of 12 prominent athletes chosen for induction into the Nebraska Black Sports Hall of Fame. Whereas Peaches James retired from professional softball in 2012, however, she leaves an enduring contribution as one of the most successful pitchers in Nebraska softball history. Now, therefore, I, David P. Black, Mayor of the City of Papillion, do hereby proclaim this street as Peaches James Way. So now the reason we're here, we'll have them unveil their sign. There's a little bit of a ribbon there, and if we did it right, you can pull the ribbon, and it should bring the fabric down, and you'll see the signs. See if it works. Go ahead and pull the fabric. So we plan to have another version of another copy of the signs that we're actually going to give them so they could have their own, but supply chain issues, they didn't arrive. So we'll get those to you later so you can have those. Just in conclusion, I want to thank you again for taking the time to be here to celebrate not only the complex, but more important, celebrate these 2 women and their legacies. They are inspiring. Peaches has been inspiring, and together they're going to continue to inspire girls for generations to come. And that's what we pray that this site and these signs are, is a way to honor, inspire, and educate people for years. Again, if people forget them, they see the names, maybe curiosity, they'll Google them and they'll learn and continue to inspire that way. On behalf of the City Council, Councilman Steve Ingberg, Councilman Tom Mumgarder here, thank you for all of your inspiration, why we even have this complex. Thank you for your support. Thank you for Parks and Recreation who do and manage all of this. And on behalf of the residents, I just want to say congratulations and thank you. I'm sure if the media has any questions, we'll hang around a little bit. I think a few people might want to take a picture. We can do that as well for a few minutes. And again, Sarpy County Tourism, Fred Huey, is a partnership in this whole thing. They've arranged, Jordy's going to be available, I think, at 11 o'clock, isn't it, to do some autograph sessions. So again, thank you very much for coming out.